Hey everybody, Omar here, the Knife Shark Guy, and I am back with another fun-filled video for you. I'm doing the video on the Willem Steenkamp Knife Shark bite that I uploaded last week. I know everybody's been waiting for it. It got a ton of hits, and I'm real excited to be doing this one for you because this is a really, really awesome knife. So before we get into it, you're probably wondering why the hell is there a ZT in the picture? Well, there's a reason for that. This is the very first high-end knife I ever bought. I bought and sold it 3 times. I kept changing my mind. I couldn't figure out why. Why do I keep buying this knife and then keep returning it and then buying it and selling it, and it leaves my collection, it keeps coming back. And I began to realize that I love the knife overall as a tool. I haven't actually used this one yet. But the other 2 that I had, I used it and beat it up to death. I mean, it was just a great freaking knife overall. And I think what got me so attracted to this knife, as it being my very first high-end knife ever, is the size of the knife. I like big, stout little knives like this. So this knife kept leaving and coming back into my collection. I got it anodized, and I got tired of that anodized look. So I went off and I sold the knife the first time, and then the second time I gave it away. It just, something was not up with me on this piece, but yet it just kept creeping back into my collection. And this is here to stay. So I went into the Blade Gallery over here in Washington, and I began to realize that this is a 2009 knife, okay? I've been collecting knives for roughly 10 years, so I kind of brought this knife out just to let you guys know that I've kind of come full circle, and what I realized was the knife kept leaving my collection and then coming back was because something was missing for me to want to continue to keep it. And I realized that it was purely aesthetics. So, that being said, let's get into the knife that the video is really all about. And you're going to see why. Are you guys getting the picture now? So this is the Willem Steenkamp Hornet Junior Flipper with marble carbon fiber and Damascus. Runs on IKBS with blade steel of CTS XHP. Willem Steenkamp is probably one of the few knife makers I know that really does it up with the packaging. This is new though, this part here. I've never seen this. Usually he gives you a rag with his name on it, Willem Steenkamp Knives. He has since, I'm assuming he's replaced the rag that you clean your knife with, which, by the way, was a really beautiful, like, multicolored handkerchief type rag to clean your knife with. It wasn't just the rag, it was a really pretty one. I'm kind of sorry I did not bring it out. So he has now replaced it with this, which basically, you know, you put your knife, the knife goes in here. Doesn't make any sense really, because the case that you get is sheepskin anyway, you know. So you take the knife, you put it in here, and then, you know, it just made more sense to me that he put the rag in. But I don't know, you know, it works. I'm not complaining. It's just another way of packaging. As you can see, his packaging on his knife, it's, you know, it's a really beautiful looking nylon pouch with his name in leather stamped on it. There's only one other knife maker I know who does up with the packaging, and that's Clyde Challenor. So that's one thing that they both have in common, is that they both really do it up with the packaging. So enough of the packaging. Let's get into the actual knife. So what I like to do is I like to have you guys just take a look at the knife before I even talk about it and what it's about. So you guys can get a better look. It's got marble carbon fiber all over it. It kind of shimmies in the light. Look at that. We have a Damascus purple Damascus ring around the pivot. Really very pretty. The liners are anodized in purple. And we have sort of a grayish black colored titanium backspacer. So, this knife has not necessarily replaced this one. It's just another version of a knife that's aesthetically pleasing to me as far as size and shape. I really love stout little big knives like this. And I'm surprised that this has not creeped in more into the knife culture, because I think it's something that there's really a market for. I'm going to put this away. Because a lot of us, you know, we keep trying to find the right knife, and sometimes you pull out a knife and it's just too big. It's too cumbersome. So what you're looking for is a full-size knife in a small package, and that's pretty much what Willem Steenkamp has accomplished in this. Willem Steenkamp's style, by the way, is always very cleanly done with the aesthetics. He never does anything over the top, never more than 1 or 2 materials on a knife. I mean, in this case, we've got, actually maybe no more than 3. I mean, in this case, we've got a Damascus pivot ring, purple, and then the black marble carbon fiber. He lets both those materials speak for themselves aesthetically, and then you've got the purple liners adding a nice touch to it with that gray-black titanium backspacer, and of course the black titanium pocket clip. Everything works well aesthetically on this, and you really cannot seem to take your eyes off of the handles on this one. The steel on this knife is CTS XHP. It's a really good steel. The knife runs on IKBS ball bearing system. Steel ball bearings, by the way. The knife is a one-of-a-kind handmade piece. Let's go ahead and get into the specs of this knife, which I have in front of me, thanks to Blade Gallery. We have a blade length of 2.8 inches. We've got a cutting length of 2.5. So from there all the way to the end of the knife, almost towards the back of the choil there, 2.75 inches in cutting length. The total length of the knife is 6.9 inches. The blade height at the heel is 1.8 inches, and then near the bolster, it's 0.14. And then, of course, midpoint, we have 0.4 till we get down to the tip. It's now 0.3 inches. The knife weighs 3.8 ounces. Just a fantastic looking knife. So let's go ahead and put it up against some other custom let's put it up against some knives that we are all fairly familiar with. Starting with the Zero Tolerance 0562. There it is up against the 0562. So as you can see, it's a fairly short knife. I don't want to say it's a small knife, really. I mean, it is a small knife, but it's more of a short knife, because if you were to take this knife and put it on top, I mean, they're fairly close in handle, like, heft, I want to say. So you're getting a full grip on this knife, which is one of the things I like. That's why I like these stout little knives like this. They can do every bit of a good job of those big jobs, just as much as this large CT. And I think that's really the appeal for me on this knife. Let's go ahead and put it up against the Benchmade Anthem. Up against Benchmade Anthem there. How about the Spyderco Swiss Bowie? One of my favorites. So that's a little bit smaller than the Anthem, at coming in with the blade length coming in at 3.4 inches. The Kershaw bare knuckle knife, another favorite. That one's even larger. In fact, it's half the size. This is half the size of the Kershaw. So as you can see, it's really a full-size knife in a small pack. A full-size knife in a small package is basically what we're getting here, and that's really the appeal of this knife. And as you can see, this is called, again, this is the Junior Hornet Flipper. This one would be considered like almost close to the same look. It's not the Hornet, full Hornet. It looks like a Hornet, but it's actually called the EDCTI-80. Go figure why they call it that. I don't know. But it's almost the same look, almost the same kind of build to it. It's just a larger looking knife. Again, similar in style. Look at this. Never really over the top with the aesthetics. This is all done in brown micarta. Steel on this one is N390. Yeah, he just really knows how to use the aesthetics to make it just pleasing enough for the buyer, but not where your eyes are so distracted by Damascus and Damascus rings and, all these other materials that they put on knives to kind of like going over the top. He's more of a quiet knife maker, and if you're into wanting to get maybe a high-end knife that looks aesthetically pleasing, but yet not necessarily over the top, I would definitely go for Willem Steenkamp in this case. He's just an elegant knife maker. You can see the care he takes, even in just the blade. It's this is a hand-rubbed finish knife. Everything on the knife is made completely by hand. Willem Steenkamp does not do CNC machining at all. He has actually said that in quite a number of videos on at Blade Show. So it's kind of important to know that. And most knife makers pride themselves on that, the fact they make the knife by hand. And you can tell it's made by hand, because I'm going to tip it over so I can show you something on this knife. If you look at the marble carbon fiber scales on this, it seems like it's thicker on this side and thinner on the show side of the knife. And that is to accommodate for the pocket clip, but this was all done by hand. And it's so minute that you have to actually look very closely to see that. And that's what I did. I had to look real closely to see that. The titanium backspacer on this knife really makes a nice touch up against the purple liners there. So again, really good use of color on the knife. The ergos on the knife, going back into it as a tool rather than as an art piece, they're fantastic. I could definitely grip this all day long and not be tired of it. This is definitely a knife you can actually cut large boxes with repetitively if you needed to. It is just an overall fantastic example of a simple custom done elegantly. Kind of love that titanium pocket clip there. It's just really nice. It's kind of like it's got, excuse me, multiple colors on it, which I like. Yeah, that Damascus pivot ring is really just insane. As you guys can see. That's a beautiful focal point right there. Pivot rings, in many cases on customs, they're actually used to sort of differentiate the actual standard pivot that they put on custom knives. and the Damascus pivot ring, or whatever ring they put around it, seems to really do the job. Because after a while, you do get kind of tired of looking at that standard pivot. Because ZT uses it a lot, so. The flipping action on this knife is fantastic. Again, it runs on IKBS. I mean, it's very, very smooth. I don't think you can get better action on a small knife. I mean, it could be smoother, but yeah, I'm not really into, commenting on why the knife couldn't be smoother. I mean, every knife that you get, every custom knife that you get is made that way for a reason by the knife maker, and you simply should accept that. So, because he worked hard on it. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview on this one. Overall look of the knife. Get you to understand the work of Willem Steenkamp as far as a simple custom, not being made over the top. I think there's something to be said for that. And everything on his knife is always done very well, very smooth. He just does it right, not only as a tool, but aesthetically as well. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off with the Willem Steenkamp Junior front flipper, which I picked up at the Blade Gallery. I also forgot to show you, this does have an certificate of authenticity. It's right there on the back. I wanted to show that to you. You should be getting one of these with every custom knife that you get. That's his handwriting right there. The Hornet Flipper Junior, XHP, marble carbon fiber, pivot collar Damascus. There's the date that the knife was made. And Willem Steenkamp. This thing here is actually an information card that the Blade Gallery does. When you go to their website and you order a knife, they ship this to you along with the certificate of authenticity. It's just a really, really nice thing that the Blade Gallery does for you, to give you more information on the knife when you talk about it, when you look at it. Because really all you really get with the knife, if it did not go to the Blade Gallery, is just the certificate of authenticity by the maker, and the knife, and of course the packaging that it comes with. You would not get the information card. The information card is just something that the Blade Gallery does. So this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off, hoping you'll find this fantastic custom, or one like it, because this is a one-of-a-kind handmade piece, someday soon in your collection. Also wanted to mention that the table price for this knife, if you're interested in starting to get into customs, this one, I believe, was right around $650 for this piece, handmade knife. So there you have it, the Junior Hornet Flipper by Willem Steenkamp. This is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off. Saying enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day weekend. We still got a little bit more of it left. 2 more days, in fact. Thank God. I'll use a break here. Getting ready for the summer. And, yeah. I will see you guys next on the next Knife Shark Bite, which I'm going to upload in a few minutes, so you guys can get an idea of what video I'll be doing next and on what knife, because the knife is going to be insane. Anyway, this is Omar, the Knife Shark Guy, signing off with this beautiful sharp sculpture. Thank you so much for watching, and you guys have a fantastic evening, and I will see you guys in the next video.